Hello, everyone. I'm Erin from the WRLA, and we are now live. Welcome to today's Teachable Tuesday webinar on creating a holiday marketing campaign with Charmaine Jennings. The holidays are around the corner, and you know what that means. The retail industry is entering its busiest time of year. Because people are spending a lot more time than usual shopping online and preparing for the holidays, it's important for your online presence to be booming. Consistent and engaging content, strong visuals, and holiday campaigns with clear objectives is what's going to help your brand stand out, attract ideal customers, and increase sales. Charmaine has done quite a few webinars for us, all tailored to social media. So to access any of those past webinars, you can please visit our website at www.wrla.events/webinars, and then just scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page where you will see past webinars and then check those out. I also want to quickly highlight another one of our past webinars that I think, given everything that we're dealing with today, it's important for everyone to possibly look into. This is the whole concept of e-commerce, or why is your business not online? You want to start selling online but don't know where to get started? The WRLA and Shopify are working together to make getting your business online easier. Together, we're offering the option for you to try it for free for 90 days. We have done 2 previous webinars with Shopify that can help you to understand how to get started, along with some fun tips on designing your own online store. So please feel free to check those out or either contact Jess or myself for more information. All right, so I am Erin and I am your Member Services and Solutions Manager. And with me is Jess, and she is your Trade Show and Event Manager. She will be taking over after Charmaine is done and handling all of the questions. Just a few quick housekeeping items. Everyone is muted. So if you have any questions, there's that chat option at the bottom of the page. So feel free to put your questions in there and we will facilitate them at the end. As well, we are currently being taped, so Jessica will be sending out the webinar along with, I think, a few other questions at the end. So who is presenting today's webinar? Well, as previously mentioned, that would be Charmaine Jennings, owner of Strategic Charm Boutique. Charmaine is a social media guru who helps entrepreneurs share their brand story and connect with dream clients and customers on Instagram and other online platforms. She works hard to help small businesses owners find their voice and define their messages so that they can confidently communicate their passion for their industry, the work that they do, and the value of their offerings. All right, Charmaine, you can take it from there and let's get started on some holiday planning.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Erin. I'm excited to be here. I'm just going to share my screen with you guys so you can see my presentation. So just give me one quick second. Okay, you should all be able to see the PowerPoint. If you can't, just let me know, but I think it looks like everything is good to go. So thanks again for the introduction, Erin. Like you said, my name is Charmaine Jennings. I'm the owner of Strategic Charm Boutique, and social media is totally my jam. I've been doing this for a little under 5 years now on my own, and it's been so much fun. And I feel that with social media, a lot of people get really frustrated because there's so many different moving parts to social media and online marketing in general. So I'm always happy to pop in and help you guys navigate this online space, especially as we enter into the holiday season. So during this webinar, you're going to learn how to create consistent and engaging content, strong visuals, and a holiday marketing campaign that's going to help your brand stand out, attract ideal clients and customers, and increase sales. So if anyone's confused about exactly what a holiday marketing campaign is, it's really just shifting a lot of your content and your visuals on your online platforms, so social media, email, blogs, or anywhere else you share content online, and having it be holiday themed, keeping the holidays in mind, right? Especially with this year, a lot of people are just wanting to, hopefully, for the most part, wanting to embrace the holidays, and people are in need of some holiday cheer. So we are going to talk about how to promote your products and services during this time, but also just to create some fun content that gets people excited to engage with you and happy to follow you on your online platforms. Again, as we move along, feel free to pop into the chat and let us know if you have any questions at all. I can make sure I get to those at the end. And yeah, let's continue. Okay, so the first thing you want to do when you're outlining your holiday online campaign or any campaign in general is to figure out what your goals are, right? Outlining your goals is what's going to help you figure out if what you're doing with your campaign is successful, and it'll help you make tweaks or other ideas next year, right? So you can kind of take what you did this year, and then in 2021, you can kind of revise things to look back and see what worked, what didn't work, and what areas of improvement are needed. So for this year, you want to outline business goals for November to December that can be supported through your online marketing. I always tell people you want to make sure you set SMART goals. So SMART means goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound, right? So if one of your goals is generally just to make more sales, which I'm sure is everyone's goal, how do you know when you've accomplished that, right? Let's say you make $10,000 in your business one month, and then in the holiday season, you make $10,000 and $10,001. Technically, you've made more sales by $1, right? But chances are that's not exactly what you're setting out to do, right? So you want to be specific. You want to pick goals that are measurable so you can see if they were successful or not. You want to make sure they're realistic goals. So if you normally do $10,000 in sales in November, you don't want to have a goal of reaching 200,000. Not to say you can't do it, but it's probably not the most realistic or attainable goal, right? So you want to make things that are possible for you and your team to achieve during this time. Again, you want to pick goals that are relevant and that are going to help support your business. And it's nice to have a time frame for your goals, right? So for us, for the purpose of planning your holiday campaign, of course, we're focusing on November to December or early January if you have some New Year's goals and promotions you want to put out there. So a few examples of SMART goals can include, again, reaching $100,000 in sales by December 24th. So again, it's a very specific goal. It's measurable. You have a timeline you've given yourself. So at least when you come to December 24th and you see, okay, we've made 80,000, which isn't bad, but we need to figure out how we can push that to the next level next year. Or if you have greatly surpassed that goal, then okay, you know what? We made actually $150,000 by December 24th. So we need to keep that in mind for next year so we can make our goal even higher. Other examples would be to increase web traffic by 10% over last year. So let's say last year you had 600 people go to your website in November around this time last year, and you want to increase it by 10%, then you want to have an extra 60 people go to your website, right? So again, it's something that is measurable and attainable. And then maybe your goal is to maintain a certain engagement rate on Instagram or on social media, because we know engagement is half the battle, right? Content creation is one, engagement is the other piece that a lot of people forget about, and we'll definitely talk about that a bit later in today's webinar. So next we're going to talk about your target audience. So in order to communicate effectively online and drive traffic to your business, whether it's your online store or your in-person store, it's important to be specific on your target audience and ideal customer. While you may have outlined multiple buyer personas for your business in the last webinar we did, the last one was about coordinating social media guidelines for your team, you may want to focus your holiday campaign on one or two types of ideal customers, because you might have many. This will help increase or help you be specific with your messaging, and will increase the likelihood of reaching your business or campaign goals, right? So if you're trying to appeal to everyone, you're really going to speak to no one, right? You want to think about who you're especially trying to target around the holidays with your products or your services, and you want to create content that's going to attract those people. That's not to say that other people who don't fit that mold aren't going to be attracted to your business and find your content and want to buy from you. But the more specific you can be, the more likely you're going to increase your online presence and convert your online followers into paying clients and customers. So like I mentioned in our last webinar, if you missed it, that's totally okay. We did talk about different buyer personas, right? So when you're describing your target audience, you're kind of describing your audience as a whole, but it's nice to get specific and create an example of a specific type of customer or client for your business. So when you're doing this and you are a B2C business, so chances are you have a retail location and you're a business to consumer business, you want to give your buyer persona a name, just because it's nice to refer to someone specific, right? So if you give them a name, you can call them Jeff, for example. When you're thinking about creating content, think about, what would Jeff like? What does Jeff need to see? What does Jeff want to buy from us? How can we help Jeff today, right? So it's nice to personalize them and give them a name. You want to give them an age. I like to be very specific with their age because, again, the way you talk to someone who is 20 years old is going to be different than the way you talk to someone who's 65, right? They have different needs, different levels of experience, and they're attracted to different types of written and visual content. So again, you're focusing on your most ideal customer, and don't worry about not attracting other people outside of that age range. You will. I also want to think about where they're located, because that might affect how you're creating content for them or how you're shipping products to them. Sometimes their occupation or salary could play a part into who you're trying to target with your offerings. You definitely want to think about their hobbies and interests generally, but also around the holidays as well, right? Is your target audience, is your ideal customer someone who enjoys Christmas shopping or enjoys the holiday season and likes to drink eggnog and likes to wear Santa hats and things like that? Or are they not so much about the holidays, but they're in it just like the rest of us, right? You want to think about who they are as people so you can appeal to them on a personal level. That's especially true when you're thinking about their purchasing habits, right? Are they the type of people who, by the end of November, all their holiday shopping is done? Or are they scrambling on December 24th trying to get their last minute gifts in? So think about their purchasing habits, and that's going to help guide your content that you create for them as well. I also want to think about challenges and struggles that your ideal customer might have that your business can support. So maybe it's a matter of they really want to start a DIY project at home with their family, but they don't know what type of project would be family friendly or where to get the materials or what have you, right? So think about what your ideal customer might be struggling with around the holidays and figure out what your business offers that can help solve their problem. I also want to think about what social media platforms they use regularly, which we'll talk about a bit later. But if you have, let's say your ideal client is 27, let's just say 27, chances are they're spending a lot of time on Instagram, right? So it might not make sense to put a lot of effort into your Facebook marketing when they're spending more time on Instagram, right? You want to build a holiday campaign around Instagram and kind of copy it over to Facebook, so there's some content there as well, but knowing that your Instagram content is where they're being driven to the most. You also want to create content that speaks directly to them, again, appealing to their demographics, their hobbies, their interests, their purchasing habits, and their struggles or challenges, and include a photo just for fun so you can kind of visualize who your ideal customer is. So that's just an example of how you would create a buyer persona. You don't necessarily have to do this exercise for your holiday marketing campaign, but I have it in here just in case you want to refer back to it. And this slide was in the last webinar as well. Now, if you're a supplier, then your business is B2B, right? So you're a business that sells to other businesses. So you can still create a buyer persona that's somewhat similar to what we just talked about. So name, age, location, but some other things that are a bit different for a B2B buyer persona is thinking about the industry you're trying to target, the job title of the person who makes the decisions in that company or in that business, perhaps the size of organizations, and again, especially what struggles and challenges you think they might be facing right now that your products can help support. So that's an example of a B2B buyer persona all laid out here. So let's talk about different online platforms that could be part of your holiday campaign. So email marketing, sometimes people think email marketing is dead, but a lot of people utilize it in an effective way because 81% of small businesses rely on it as their primary online customer acquisition channel and for customer retention. because more often than not, people do go to their email because they are expecting emails from doctors, family, friends, whoever. And chances are, if they see an email from you, they're probably going to open it just because they're already in their inbox, right? So open rates on emails are relatively high depending on your industry, but there is a lot of validity in using this as a marketing tool for your business. If you're wondering what type of platforms you should be using for email marketing, some of the more popular ones are MailChimp, ConvertKit, and Constant Contact. MailChimp is something I personally use. It's a free platform for email marketing. And what's really great about it is that it lets you customize your email. So customize it based on templates, based on the content you share, and based on different email lists that you can segment so you can send different people different types of content. Some people, when they're doing email marketing, they do it just from their regular email, so from their Gmail or their company Hotmail account, which it's fine, but using something like MailChimp or ConvertKit or Constant Contact is great because it gives you analytics, right? It tells you not only how many people opened your email, but who is opening your email, right? So if you have a couple of people or a bunch of people who are opening your emails on a regular basis, chances are they're gonna be a warm lead. So someone who either is almost ready to buy from you, or they're going to be a customer who buys from you already, but your email content is what's keeping them a regular customer for you, right? So that goes back to the customer retention. So some other benefits of email marketing is personalization. So again, if you're using something like MailChimp or Constant Contact, you can personalize your email. So it'll say, hey, Jennifer, and then lead into the content that you've put in that email. Personalizing it makes it feel like that email was specifically for them. So even though you're sending the exact same email to hundreds or even thousands of people, it makes them feel like, oh, this is for me. I'm going to read it, and I'm going to pay more attention to the content within this email. Like I mentioned, it gives you the ability to create multiple lists that serve different audiences. So maybe you want to segment your list by potential customers or current customers or suppliers in this region, or however makes the most sense for your business and your company's objectives. It provides added value to your audience, so you can share a lot of different content to your email list, content that you can't necessarily always share on social media because you have a limited amount of space for your caption, right? At least in your email, you have more room to go into more detail with more complex concepts. It strengthens your relationship with your leads, so people who can be potential clients or customers. Like I mentioned, you can track your analytics, so you can see exactly who opens your email, what time they open their email. If you notice that people are typically opening your email at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, then maybe that might be a better time to send them out rather than early morning or early evening. Email marketing is really great too for distributing surveys and collecting feedback. So if you want to get some insights about your products or your services or your customer service, using an email campaign that is filled with a survey or some sort of form people can fill out is handy to get that feedback. And of course, it drives traffic to your website. So often in your emails, you're linking back to a blog post, which we'll talk about, or a product or a discount or something on your website, right? Your website is essentially your main online home for your business. So the idea is to drive more traffic to that site. So if you're struggling to come up with ideas for email marketing for the holidays, I have a couple ideas listed for you here. Gift guides would be huge. People love gift guides, especially now because with COVID, a lot of people are really trying to support local. And sometimes it's a matter of just not knowing what local businesses have things that can be good for family gifts or gifts for their kids or friends or what have you, right? So having a gift guide would be perfect. So when you're creating a gift guide, you want to gather up a bunch of related products that would be perfect for a mom or a dad or the family or things that are related. So you can say, here's a gift guide for this type of people or this type of person to give people more ideas. So that's something that can be really beneficial in an email newsletter. You can also do quick and easy DIY projects or ideas for the family. You know, a lot of people are spending more time at home now and will probably be spending even more time at home around the holidays, right? So why not give them ideas of things they can do with their family that they haven't tried before? And maybe there are some home renovation tips in there, holiday decor projects, so not just DIY projects, but ones that are holiday specific. Links to blog posts on your website that are related to the topic of your email, discounts and promotions you have going on, or exclusive deals. A lot of people use their email list as an exclusive space for a segment of their online audience, right? So one of the benefits of being on your email list could be you get deals that no one else gets. These are deals that no one on our social media will get, or no one who comes into our store will get. These are just for people on our email list. So usually it involves a coupon code of some sort that they can type in when they're checking out, when they're buying your products from online. You can also do giveaways if you want to. So if you want to give away a series of products, you can do that with your email marketing. It's also a really good place for storytelling. So, maybe sharing some fun facts about your company or your business and how you got started, or doing like a little happy holidays from your team. So maybe you're sharing a team photo or collection of images from your team and talking a bit about how your team members celebrate the holidays. So blogging. Blogging is a great way to provide your audience with lots of information about a very specific topic. Again, because on your social media and other platforms, you only have a limited space to write your captions. So at least blogging gives you more room to explain more complex concepts. When you do blog, you want to ensure that your blog post is a minimum of 500 and 750 words. If it's longer, that's great, but you want to make sure you have that minimum because blogging, one of the benefits is that it increases your SEO, which is your search engine optimization. So when you have keywords in your blog post, so words that people are looking for on Google, for example, on a regular basis. So, how to renovate your bathroom, for example. If you have a blog post about that, the longer your blog post is, the more likely that post is going to show up in Google searches. You also want to make sure your blog posts include 2 to 3 high quality images. 1, because it breaks up the text. 2, because people are very visual and like to see visuals associated with blog posts, but also because a lot of people use Pinterest, right? So if they see a really good blog topic or idea on your website, they can pin the image from your site to their Pinterest and refer back to it as often as they like to. And you want to make sure your blog post ends with a specific call to action, or a CTA. So you want to make sure before you end your blog post, tell people what action you want them to take, right? So maybe it's linking to a series of products, or linking to a holiday contest that you're hosting on your website, or linking to some offers and promotions that you have for the holiday season. Still some benefits of blogging. Of course, it drives traffic to your website. So if you're constantly updating content on your website, it gives people more of a reason to go there and look for that content. It helps to build trust with your target audience because, again, you're giving them even more information than you would typically share on your social media. Creates room for storytelling, just like your email newsletters can do as well. Breaking down complex information. It also really positions you as an expert in your industry, right? So the more tips and DIYs and tutorials and things like that you share on your blog, the more people are going to see you as an expert. So when they have a question related to your industry and what you do, they're going to think of you first and want to go to your online platforms for that information. Also provides you with content that can be repurposed for other platforms. So if you have a blog post that is giving, 5 different holiday DIY projects you can do with your family, you can repurpose each 5 of those ideas for your social media or for your newsletter as well. So you're not reinventing the content wheel every time you want to share content. Blogging also helps generate new leads, because what you can do is at the end of your blog post, like I was talking about call to actions, a call to action could be to subscribe to your newsletter, right? So we talked about the benefits of email marketing, and blogging is one way to funnel people into your email list. So you have them in that area for when you want to share with them content and promotions and things like that. And like I mentioned, it improves your search engine optimization. So some of the blog topics you can share are pretty similar to what you can share in your email campaigns as well. So again, gift guides, DIY projects, common home renovation mistakes that people should avoid, holiday decor projects, stories from your team, or product features. Product features are great because sometimes people will see a product and they like it or they are intrigued by it, but they don't know all the different ways they can use it or what they need to know about it. So having a blog post that further explains those details would be helpful. Okay, social media, my favorite thing. When choosing a social media platform that you're going to share content to, you really want to think about your target audience, their demographics, and where they're likely to spend their time online. So an example I give is that 8% of men and women aged 65 and up are active on Instagram, while 56% are active on Facebook, right? So if your target audience is people who are 65 plus, it doesn't make sense for you to spend so much time on Instagram and curating for that online space when they're mostly on Facebook, right? So it's really about going back to knowing who your target audience is, looking at the buyer personas that you've set, and figuring out what platforms those people are spending their time on. So there are lots of benefits of social media marketing. One, the financial accessibility, because you can do social media marketing effectively for free. Of course, you can pay for ads as well, but generally it can be free for you. It lets you build your online community. And again, that online community is people who ideally are going to convert to paying clients and customers. Gives you access to a worldwide market depending on where you're able to provide your products and services. So whether it's just within your province, your city, across Canada, or internationally. It really gives you opportunities to listen to the needs and wants of potential clients and customers. A lot of people on social media love going on there to talk about things that they've purchased that weren't very good or that were amazing. And it's really important for you to kind of listen to that feedback, whether it's about your specific company or other competitors, right? Because if they're complaining about another competitor's products, then you can kind of look at yours and say, you know what, ours actually has the features they're looking for. So maybe we should promote that a little more often on our social media platforms. Gives you the ability to use social proof to attract clients and customers. So social proof really is just showing that you have an active and engaging account, right? So an example of social proof can be a large number of followers or you getting a lot of likes and comments on your content. Now those things alone don't necessarily convert into sales, but people are more likely to see more value in your social media when they see those larger numbers, and those larger numbers are subjective. Helps you create brand recognition. So again, when you're sharing content on a regular basis, yes, you're sharing captions, but you're also sharing content visuals as well, right? So when you have a curated Instagram feed, for example, with images that are very on brand, chances are people are going to see a post on their Instagram and recognize it as your brand's post before actually seeing who it's from, right? So it increases your brand recognition visually and both with your brand voice that you express in your captions as well. Again, storytelling is another benefit, keeping your clients and customers informed and up to date, especially now with COVID and people not knowing what's open, what's closed, what's available online, how long things are going to take to ship. That's going to be a big one because a lot of people, again, they're buying their Christmas gifts or getting ready for the holidays, and they want to make sure that their products are going to arrive to them on time, right? So you want to make sure you give them updates as they happen so they are informed. One way to do that on your Instagram is to create a highlight and label it simply like important updates or just updates, and make sure you keep those highlights updated with the changes going on with your operation. So hours of operation, things like that. It can position you as an authority figure or leader in your industry. So anytime you're sharing lots of tips or tricks or you're sharing industry news, again, people are going to start to see you as an authority figure or an expert and come to you when they have questions. Helps you give immediate customer service. So if people have questions about your products and services, a lot of times they'll send you a Facebook message or a DM on Instagram wanting an answer. And luckily, if you have the time and maybe enough team members, you can respond to them in a hopefully timely manner. Improves your SEO, increases traffic to your website, and increases your conversion rate. So that conversion rate is how many people visit your website versus how many people are on there and actually buying products and services. So there's lots of social media content ideas that you can share. Again, a lot of these things are similar to what we've talked about for your blog posts and email campaigns as well. So gift guides is another big one. Stocking stuffers, a similar idea, but sometimes people just want a couple of little things that they can put into stocking stuffers or into little client gift packages or whatever it is they're purchasing for. Project ideas, home renovation ideas, how to prepare XYZ for winter. So depending on what you offer, maybe you have some tips for how to prepare different aspects of your house or whatever it is for the winter or holiday season. Again, holiday decor projects, holiday members from your team, product features. Again, that's going to be a huge one because sometimes people are interested in a certain product, but they don't know all the capabilities of that product. So having those as features regularly would be ideal. You can also do a 12 days of giveaways. That is something a lot of people do this time of year, so 12 days of giveaways. It doesn't have to be a whole 12 days. I know that could be a lot for people. Maybe it's 5 days of giveaways or 7, whatever works best for you. So essentially with that, each day you're giving away something to your audience. So it could be free products throughout those couple of weeks, or maybe it's different discounts, right? So maybe on Monday, it's 10% off of everything online. And then Tuesday, it's buy one, get one free. Wednesday is buy one, get one half. It could be different deals that you're giving to your audience. So that way you're not necessarily giving away product for free. You are giving it away as a discount, which is still valuable to both you and your online audience. You can also mix in some fun things like simple holiday playlists, for example. So maybe you're like, you know what? I know a lot of you are working on, again, DIY projects or home renovation projects. Here's our favorite holiday songs that can help you get the work done, right? Something fun and playful that people can easily engage with. Some important holidays that you want to focus on for this month. I know it's coming up, I think, next week. Yes, next week. Black Friday is next Friday. So a lot of people, a lot of businesses are already doing their Black Friday sales. Some people do Black Friday sales all month long and promotions. Some people do it just on the Friday. It's really up to you and what your capacity is and capabilities are, but Black Friday is coming up. So I do recommend, if you are going to do sales just for that day or just for the weekend, that you do talk about it at least a couple of days in advance. So like maybe starting next Tuesday, for example, at the latest. Small Business Saturday is next Saturday. So that's when people typically like to highlight small businesses or talk about your small business and how it came to be. And maybe it could be how you're doing in this time and how things have shifted for you. Cyber Monday it's kind of interesting. So Cyber Monday is really when people spend a lot of time online doing online shopping. So usually people have different discounts for online on Cyber Monday than they do for Black Friday. Again, a lot of people right now are buying online, so it's really up to you to figure out how you can differentiate the two. So differentiating Black Friday and Cyber Monday, or again, you can have the same deals all weekend. I think a lot of people are doing that where it's just, you know what, it's 40% off from Friday to Monday. That way it's all done in one shot and you don't have to keep changing your content to keep up with different deals that you're offering. Giving Tuesday is on December 1st. So with that, the idea is after a big weekend of shopping, right? You have Black Friday, you have Small Business Saturday where people are trying to support local, you have Cyber Monday. Giving Tuesday is essentially where you're supposed to be giving back in some way, right? So whether it's volunteering or donating to a charity, some businesses default to doing like a giveaway of their own. So like giving away a basket of some of your products or whatever it is. But the idea is that you're supposed to give something. You can also just use Giving Tuesday or any day really in the holiday season to talk about favorite charities that you as a business owner or you as a company like to support, right? So maybe there's a homeless shelter that you've worked with in the past or that you donate to, or there's something else that you want to promote on your social media and drive people to also support that charity. You can also highlight different brands that you carry, right? So a lot of you, if you are a retail location, you carry a number of different brands. This could be a good time to really highlight some of them on your Facebook and Instagram feed or in your stories as well. When you are highlighting certain brands, you do want to tag them whenever possible, because hopefully if you tag them, they will reshare their content to their platforms and help increase your reach, right? So it will help you reach more people beyond your current followers, and hopefully those followers will will be sent to your platform and like your content, follow you, and that's another way to get your word out on social media. Okay, so some tips and tricks for actually building out the campaign. So we talked about different platforms you can use and how you can use them, and different types of regular and holiday content you can share, because not every single post has to be about the holidays, but let's talk about actually building out the campaign. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat box and I'll answer them at the end. Okay, the first tip is to get your audience opinion, right? Survey your audience on social media to understand their mindset going into the holiday season, especially this year because it's very different than most years, and ask them what they like to see from your company around the holidays. You can create a Facebook poll or pop into your Instagram stories, and you can ask them a number of different questions, whatever is going to get you the information you need to either plan your campaign or plan which products you're going to feature, or just plan what content you're going to share in general. So you can ask them simple things like what's their, maybe not simple, but what's their biggest concern going into the holiday season. You can ask them what they're looking forward to this holiday season. You definitely want to ask things that are going to show how you can support them right now, right? So how can a brand simplify your holiday shopping, right? Not everyone is comfortable shopping online or like shopping online. So ask your audience, how can we make it easier for you? How can we make it more accessible for you? Or what changes do we need to make this seem like a seamless transaction? You can also ask them which products they like to see bundled for an all-in-one gift package. So maybe you have a variety of things that someone would want to get, but they want some sort of package deal so they can give it to their mom or their dad or their grandpa as a gift. So you can ask them for their opinions. What of our products would you want to see as a bundle? You can also ask them what would make online shopping easier for them, which I kind of talked about when I asked how can we simplify your holiday shopping. You can ask who's on their nice list, so who they're buying gifts for. That will kind of give you an idea if your social media followers are focusing on just gifts for their kids or just gifts for their spouses, family members, friends, things like that. You can also ask which local brands they'll be shopping from this holiday season. This question is interesting for a number of different reasons. One, it introduces you to different brands locally that you might not have heard of. It's also a good opportunity to see if they mention some of your competitors, right? Not to say that you have to be in competition with people who offer similar products and services, but it's kind of interesting to see if a lot of your current followers are shopping from these other brands. Then you can ask some simple questions like, what are your favorite holiday memories, or favorite holiday cocktail, or holiday songs or artists, anything that's going to be light and friendly and get them in a cheery holiday mood. You can also utilize the link in your Instagram bio. The reason why I focus on Instagram for this is because with your Facebook post, you can change the link whenever you're updating or posting a new caption. So anytime you post about a different product or a blog post, you're attaching a link to that specific product or blog post in your Facebook post. But with Instagram, you get one link in your bio and that's it, right? You can't put clickable links in your caption, so you really have to utilize the link in your Instagram bio to the best of your ability. So Linktree is a free resource that allows you to include multiple links in your profile that direct followers to different areas of your website or other online resources. So when you go to Linktree, you sign up for a free account, links to your Instagram, and what you do, here's an example of what it looks like, is you can create your own titles for different links, and then after you can embed your link within those titles. So when someone goes to the link in my Instagram bio now, this is what pops up for them, right? If they're interested in my social media services, they'll click on that button and then be taken to that page on my website, right? If they're interested in the podcast that I've listed down here, they can click on that and go to that podcast external website, right? So even though you get one link, Linktree lets you incorporate multiple buttons, right? So once you incorporate, let's say 10, 15, 20 buttons, 20 is too many, but let's just say 10, Linktree will generate one generic link for you that goes in your bio and then opens up this page. So you definitely want to utilize that to the best of your ability, because you can link to specific products that you're talking about on your Instagram feed. So a lot of people, when they end their Instagram caption, they'll say, click the link in my bio to buy this product, or click the link in my bio to read this blog post, or whatever that call to action is. You can link to very special discounts or promotions. You can link to an area on your website where people can sign up for your newsletter. You can link to other social media platforms. So if for some reason you're sharing different content on your Facebook page, you can link to that. Or you can link to either partner sites or link to different brands that you carry where it makes sense. Another thing you want to try and do is create a virtual in-store experience, right? While many small businesses have closed their doors to the public and people are venturing outside of their homes less often, it's important to provide customers with a virtual experience that makes them feel like they're in your shop. So this is especially important for customers who are new to online shopping or who prefer the in-person experience, right? So even if you are open and your physical retail location is open, that's great. But because people are trying to social distance, even though some stores are open, they're still trying to shop online and still trying to stay home as much as possible, right? So even if you're open, you still want to create a virtual experience for those who are uncomfortable venturing outside of their home too many times throughout the week. So a couple of different ways you can do that. You can host a weekly Facebook or Instagram Live where you or a member of your team walks through your store to showcase new products, promotions, or gift ideas. You can play holiday music in the background to really give the feeling that they're in your store, because usually right now when you're walking through stores, you hear a lot of holiday music in the background. So why not have that going on while you are taking your audience to a live virtual experience of your shop or store location, right? So maybe you're doing a live video a couple times a week, and each time you're doing it, you're focusing on one department or one aisle or one series of products, right? So people can kind of see things in real time, and more importantly, ask you questions in real time. So I remember there's here in Winnipeg, a blogger, her name is Natalie. She's Peg City Lovely on Instagram. She was at, where was she at? She was at Dufresne, the furniture store. So she went there and she did a live video and was showing all the different furniture products they have. And I was in the market for a new bed frame, and I actually went to a different Dufresne location while she was at another one. So while she was live and showing different products they had there, the location I was at did not have the bed frame I was looking for. They only had it online. So while she was live, I just commented on her video and asked her, can you ask them if they have this type of bed frame? Unfortunately, they didn't, but at least that was a way for me to shop at that location without me actually having to drive all the way across the city, right? So again, there's lots of benefits of doing an Instagram or Facebook Live in your store. Another way to create a virtual in-store experience is to create more carousel or multi-photo social media posts where audience can swipe through or scroll through a series of related products or promotions. So on Instagram, you can create a carousel post, and what that means is you can upload up to 10 different photos or videos or a combination of photos and videos into one post, and people will swipe through to see all of the content, right? So let's say you're sharing a gift guide for, what to buy for your parents, for example, then you can have 10 different ideas and people can swipe through them on Instagram. With Facebook, what happens is you can upload, again, probably more, really it's more than 10 images on Facebook. You can upload a whole bunch of images at once, and people will scroll through and kind of see all the different options they have, right? So that way you don't have to create 20 different posts for this one topic. You can create one and have people swipe through. You can also do an Instagram or Facebook stories takeover, so whether it's you or a team member, and walk your audience through your store throughout the day. Make it engaging by incorporating polls, quizzes, or the question sticker. And don't forget to wear your Santa hat or antlers or anything that represents the holiday season to you, your brand, and your target audience. So with the Stories Takeover, it's really similar to doing like a live video in your store, but you're kind of doing it in tidbits throughout the day, right? So maybe in the morning, you're sharing 3 or 4 stories and you're talking about these types of products. And then maybe in the afternoon, you're sharing a couple of fun facts about your company. And then maybe late afternoon, you're talking about some certain discounts that you have going on, or promotions or giveaways or what have you, right? You can take your audience throughout the day so they feel like not only are they shopping with you for a short period of time, they're with you throughout the entire day and can ask you a ton of questions as needed. And again, wearing something festive and fun just makes it more, again, more festive. The engagement stickers are really important when you're doing that because that's how people can easily engage with you. Anytime you're sharing Instagram stories, people can send you a DM as a reply to one of your stories, but it makes it easier for them to engage if you're using the poll sticker or quiz or questions, right? So when you're using the poll sticker in stories, it's asking your audience to pick between 1 or 2 options, right? So let's say, you're in the paint aisle and you're asking your audience, what color would you paint your bedroom if you can paint it between one of these 2 colors, purple or blue, right? So they can engage with that easily and it's fun for them. And honestly, it's fun for you. You can also create offers that are exclusive to your live or your Instagram story viewers. So if you're doing a live video, you can say, hey guys, we're going live Tuesday at 3 p.m. Tune in live so you can get a special coupon code or a special discount on this, right? So it encourages people to watch you live and it incentivizes them and gives them something, some sort of discount that they can use to create their purchases. And you can do the same thing with your stories as well. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll do a discount or a promotion of some sort, and I only talk about it on my stories. I don't talk about it on my blog or my email or in my post on my feed. It's just my Instagram stories, so you have to watch my stories in order to get that discount or promotion. You can also tag your products in your Instagram posts and in your stories. So when you're talking about a specific product or collection of products, you can tag them in your post so people can tap on the image to shop it. In order to do this, you do have to set it up through Facebook. So you have to go to your Facebook page to set up a catalog of whatever products you want to have available on your Instagram, and it'll link to your website. So for example, here, this is from Kate Spade's Instagram account, right? So there's a picture of sunglasses in this post. So as you can see, if I tap on that, on my phone, of course, what will happen is it'll take me to that website, to that particular product, and I can buy it right then and there, as opposed to clicking the link in the bio, going to the website. Maybe I'm getting lost because things aren't as organized as I would like them to be as a customer, and then now you've lost me, right? At least this way, people can see, oh, I like those glasses, I want those glasses, I'm going to click on those glasses, I'm going to buy those glasses, right? So if you have products that you're selling to the public, that could be a really great way to make it easier for them and to enhance their virtual experience. Now there's there's a handful of steps you need to take in order to set up this feature on Instagram through Facebook. And I put the link here so you can copy that and go to that resource to follow those steps. Another thing you want to do is spice up your visuals with holiday cheer, because now is the perfect time to add holiday vibes to your email campaigns, blog posts, and social media content. Now more than ever, people are hungry for holiday cheer, so why not provide that cheer to your customers and your online community, right? Again, the holidays are weird this year and people are just kind of like, so why not provide content and visual content that's going to make them smile and uplift their spirits? So in order to figure out exactly what you want to do with your visuals, decide what holiday visuals are in line with your brand and your target audience, right? So maybe it's Christmas trees or reindeer or menorah or other things that make sense for, again, your brand and your audience, just so things are consistent visually. You want to think about what festive colors and what festive colors add holiday cheer but don't clash with your brand colors, right? So for me, my color is this teal that you see at the bottom here. And honestly, I don't love red online. I don't know what it is. When I see red online, it's not my favorite. So even though traditionally Christmas colors are red and green, I'm not going to put red and green on my feed because the red is just going to stand out too much and clash. So maybe I will focus on green and silver because I think green and silver will complement the teal, or I can do teal and gold, and I think that could look nice, or white, gold, and teal, or something that makes more sense for my brand, but still feels festive and like the holidays. You can use a resource like Unsplash for high quality holiday images. So this here that you see, this tree, is a stock photo. And if you go to unsplash.com, there's a ton of photos just like this one that are high quality, and there's like thousands of options. So all you have to do is go to unsplash.com, type in holidays or Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever it is that you're looking for, and there'll be a ton of high quality images you can use for your online marketing. You can also use Canva to design holiday graphics that are on brand and visually appealing, right? So this presentation was created in Canva, right? So if you're looking to create a specific graphic for your content, not just a standalone image, Canva is great because they have a lot of pre-made templates you can use. And all you have to do is change out the images as needed. You can switch up the text if you want. You can switch up the colors of the templates. And you end up with something that looks professionally made, but it took you a couple of minutes to do, and it was free. You can also change your Facebook banner on your Facebook page to something festive and that's on brand for your company. And you can update your Instagram highlight covers to either like holiday graphics, so again, Christmas trees or anything else that represents the holidays for you, or you can just make them solid festive colors. So when people go to your Instagram account, they can see your highlights and it just makes them feel like holidays. Now, this one is really important. Actually, they're all important, but this one's really important. One thing I encourage people to do around the holidays with their holiday campaigns is to create and share more content. One way to break through all the noise online is to have more posts on your feed, right? A lot of people are upping their content game nowadays, and in order for you to cut through that, you need to be top of mind. And the only way you can be top of mind is if you're sharing more content, whether it's to your feed, to your blog, to your stories, or what have you. So a couple examples. If you're currently blogging once a month, try publishing a blog post every week or bi-weekly, whether it's you doing it or you're outsourcing it, or maybe you have a team who can help you with that task. If you're only sharing newsletters once a week, maybe you want to squeeze in an extra newsletter every other week. So one week you're sharing one, the other week you're sharing two, and then so on and so forth. Again, if you are going to share more content though, you still want to make sure it's valuable content. Don't share more content just to share content. Make sure it's things that are going to be either entertaining, educational, informative, or highly engaging. So don't just share content just to share content. If you're posting to social media 3 times a week, try and post 5 times a week, especially where algorithms are concerned, right? Right now with the algorithms on Instagram and Facebook, the content people see the most is from people they engage with the most. So if you're not sharing content regularly, people don't have the opportunity to engage with you, which means when you do finally share a post, it's not going to show up that high on their feed, right? So they might miss it. If you don't normally share live videos, like I said before, now is the perfect time to do a Facebook or Instagram live, and maybe try doing it once a week. So maybe it's not you every single time. Maybe you have other people you can alternate with and assign people different weeks. So it doesn't always have to be a walkthrough of your store. It could be a simple Q&A session that you're doing through live video on Facebook or Instagram, or it can be you unboxing a product of some sort, or it could be a tutorial that you're doing live that people can tune into and ask questions in real time. More people right now are watching Instagram stories and scrolling through their feed. So while content on your feed is still valuable, more people are watching stories, which means if you're not using Instagram stories, it's a missed opportunity to connect with your audience. So try and pop in there daily if possible, even just to share a simple graphic or an image or a quick 15-second video, just something to keep your account active, and make sure you add in those engagement stickers. So again, polls, quizzes, questions, things like that. And if you've never shared a video to IGTV before, now's a good time to try and do one, right? So IGTV is pre-recorded video of 1 minute to 10 minutes long. And that's really good for, again, longer unboxings, or if you're doing a tutorial or DIY or something that requires a bit more time. That is a good type of content to share to your IGTV, especially if you haven't done one yet. Now you want to prepare and schedule your content in advance when possible. So if you're not busy already, the hustle and bustle of the holiday season is bound to pick up with the next couple of weeks. So in order to be effective and stay efficient with your online marketing, you want to prepare and schedule as much content as you can beforehand, because once you start to get busy, your content is the last thing to go. Right? When you're busy with orders, or you're busy in store, or you're busy with anything in your business, the last thing you're going to want to do is pop into social media. So now can be the perfect time to really get ahead and sit down and batch create a lot of content. So by batch create, I mean create a lot of content at once. So either you take the next hour to write as many social media captions as you can, or you are making graphics in the next hour, or you're writing your blog post. Whatever it is, set time aside to do it all at once, and then schedule it so it goes out automatically. So with platforms like Later and Planoly, they're free and they are good for scheduling your Instagram content. While they won't post automatically, you can schedule your Instagram stories with Planoly. But what will happen is when you have the app on your phone, if you schedule your Instagram stories for 1:30 today, at 1:30, a notification will pop up on your phone and prompt you to post that. So it won't do it automatically for you. So you have to schedule at a time where you know you're available to actually publish it manually. You can also schedule your Facebook content within the Facebook page. So you don't have to have an external scheduling app if you don't want to. Your IGTV videos can be scheduled from your desktop, which is kind of handy. So if you go to Instagram.com, you can schedule your IGTV videos from there. And of course, you can schedule live videos to happen automatically, but you should plan them in advance. So you should say to your audience, hey, Thursday at 12 noon, we're going to go live and we're going to talk about XYZ. Because the idea is you want people to be able to tune in live to engage with you in real time, because it helps with the algorithm, but also helps them find more value in your content if they can ask you questions in real time. And the best way to ensure you have more live viewers is to promote it in advance. So at least I know, hey, they're going to be talking about how to create this kind of project this Friday, and I want to create that kind of project. I'm going to put it in my calendar so I can tune in live. And last but not least, engage. Sharing content is only half the battle, like I mentioned in the beginning. You have to engage with your audience to build the know, like, and trust factor people need to want to buy from you, to grow your online community, and to increase your sales. So now, again, more than ever, you want to make sure you're responding to every single every single comment on your social media posts. Answer all of your DMs, and you want to do these things daily, ideally, because if someone asks you a question on Monday and you don't get back to them on Friday, they're going to lose interest. You want to be as timely as possible and try to respond within 24 hours, 48 at the most. You also want to seek out your ideal customers on Instagram, or your ideal clients, and engage on their platform. Like their posts, comment on their posts, follow them, and show them some love so hopefully they can come back to your platform and do the same for you. And then spread the love and share content from your partners or brands that you carry or other people in your industry, right? So sometimes sharing a post to someone else who does something similar to you is a nice way to show your support, and it shows that you are more about community over competition to your followers. So that's a good rule of thumb. And that's it.
Hi, Charmaine. Thanks so much. That was amazing. Thank you
You're
so much.
welcome.
There's so many great tips in there. And just to remind everybody, if you have questions, use the chat function. Erin and I are watching it right now. While you were chatting, I did have a few questions that came up just from my perspective. My first one is a little bit about the goals that you talked about. If you've never done this before, how do you even go about setting a goal? If you've never done something like this on Instagram or on social media, where do you start your baseline from?
Sure, just figure out what are some of the key things in your, like, what are the most important things in your business right now, or what are the key things that are going to move the needle in your business, right? So a lot of people default to thinking about sales, right? Especially in a year where, finances are uncertain. Think about your sales and think about, okay, either if you should be able to look at what your sales were like last year and see if you feel like you're on track to meet those or surpass those goals, and to make a realistic goal for what you can achieve in this holiday season. Or you can think, okay, what do we need to make in sales this holiday season to keep our business afloat? And sometimes it's a hard question to ask yourself, but that's a good starting point. And then you can add on other goals from there as well.
Okay. So you talked a little bit about some of the email marketing programs out there, like MailChimp and Constant Contact. My first question is what do those kind of how are those pricing structured for people who maybe are not familiar with them?
For sure. So personally, I use MailChimp, and I do use the free version of MailChimp. So far, I haven't had the need to use a paid version, but I think usually those type of platforms start at about $11.99 per month US dollars, so about $15, $16 a month Canadian. But with MailChimp, for example, the free version allows you to have up to 2,000 subscribers on your list. Once you reach or surpass 2,000 subscribers, that's when you have to start paying for it. But so far, I haven't needed to get to that level yet.
So subscribers are how many active emails you have on there that you're sending out to? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And you can send them as many emails as you want.
Okay, so as many emails, but it's based on how many emails you have as your pricing about that. Okay.
Yeah.
So with email segmentation, then you created buyer personas. Do you suggest creating those as the segmented groups in your marketing, in your email marketing, or do you suggest other things, sort of people who have buying habits, or what kind of segmentation would you suggest?
For sure. It really kind of depends on what some of your goals are and like the nature of your business. But for example, I think for what I assume your business is to be, I think a benefit there would be segmenting by leads and by current customers, right? So usually when people buy something from you online, you have a system that captures that email that goes to your email list. So you can segment that and know, okay, this is a list of people who have bought from us in the past, right? So if they bought from us in the past, they're likely to continue buying from us. So the content you share to them might be a little bit different. And then you can capture emails just for people who just happen to browse your website, or maybe they've entered a giveaway or some sort of contest. So those are more so your leads. So people who you don't think have bought from you yet, but the people who know about you and are likely to convert into paying customers or clients.
Okay. Kiana has a question, which is, do you find that personalizing posts get more engagement than a generalized post?
100%. 100%. A lot of people are putting out general content, and it's hard to differentiate general content from another person's general content, right? So the more personable you can be, the better. And that's why I recommend, especially where Instagram's concerned, to utilize your stories. And when I say utilize them, it's not just sharing pictures and graphics. People want to see your face, right? Especially when people are trying to focus on small business and support small business. They want to see who exactly they're supporting. So make sure your face is in there, your team's face is in there, and there's someone that people can attach to your business name.
Okay. And with the huge push right now, especially around small business, local business, how do our members identify themselves? Are there specific hashtags or other things that they should be including in their posts that help identify them a little clearer?
100%. So again, focusing on Instagram, that's my main platform. It kind of depends on where you're located, right? So for me, like we're in Winnipeg. So myself and a lot of other small businesses use hashtags like Winnipeg local, Winnipeg business, made in Manitoba, made in Winnipeg. And chances are if we have those hashtags, a lot of your areas have those too. So it's just a matter of going to Instagram and typing in Victoria local and see what pops up there. And if that's not a hashtag that's being used by a local business there, Instagram will suggest other hashtags that are related.
Okay. So going back to content, so many of our retail members work with suppliers. Do you think there's any opportunities for some of our suppliers to help provide the content for the retailers, whether it's sponsored content or help promote their products that are in their stores or doing takeovers or something like that? Like, is that something that you've seen a lot of, where a supplier that's represented by a store can take over content or help provide some of that?
Yep, that happens all the time. Takeovers are amazing. And again, it's not just a matter of people from your team taking over. It could be your suppliers or partners or whoever it is. Just people like to see a new face every now and then, and to kind of get to know the people that you're working with or supporting. So that'd be a good way to do that. Sometimes sometimes you can turn it into a content series, right? So every
Oh,
Friday,
okay.
you can do a Follow Friday where you're featuring different suppliers each week. So maybe it's a matter of you writing a little blurb about them or getting them
Mhm.
to send you like a bio
Oh,
and
okay.
picture to go along with it.
Right. So that saves you some time too, because you're not developing the content as well,
Exactly.
right? And it
Yeah.
supports your business. So I do have one last question, and this is really just more about, do we always wait for a holiday to do something like this, or do we try and integrate these types of things like features throughout the year at different times? For example, like
Yeah.
at other particular holidays like Mother's Day, Father's Day, or sales, or can we use sort of the similar techniques?
Absolutely. So a lot of these things, yeah, we are focusing on the holidays, but this can be adapted to any other holiday, whether it's Valentine's Day or Mother's Day, like you said,
Mhm.
or it could just be a base for starting just a campaign in general, right? So campaigns really just refer to very intentional types of content for a certain period of time with
Mhm.
certain objectives and outcomes, right?
Okay.
So if you
Yeah.
want to have a campaign in the summer, you can use a similar format, but just tweak it a bit so it makes sense for that time of year.
Okay. We have another question from Kiana. She's, what approach would you suggest for small businesses that maybe this year has been slow for them and they can't afford to do giveaway products or discounts at this time? How else do you suggest them driving sales to their business through some of the techniques that you've offered?
For sure. So even though you said you might not be able to do giveaways just because, finances and things like that, sometimes it could be a matter of partnering with someone else, right? So maybe you and your product alone doesn't make sense for a whole big giveaway, but
Mhm.
maybe it's a matter of connecting with 5 other businesses or 9 other businesses and saying, hey, let's create either a big gift basket together.
Mhm.
And the idea is people who enter have to follow every account
Oh,
on
okay.
Instagram, for example. So everyone gets that online traffic and
Those are
everyone
very
gets
popular.
exact people love
Yeah.
that stuff, right? So
Yeah.
that's a good way to do it where it's not just you putting up, their product.
Mhm.
But other ways, again, it's just really to create really valuable content, right? So that's why I talked a lot about blogging
Mhm.
because it's another reason to get people to your website, right? You need to
Mhm.
give people reasons to go to your site.
And so with some of that too, like the email is almost considered a piece of currency these days, getting
Yeah.
people's emails. So like with that kind of stuff, acquiring emails through email campaigns or through social postings,
Yeah.
is that something I've heard of people doing that where it's like download this or give an email and help that kind of stuff that helps build that sort of
Yeah.
baseline things.
Absolutely. So that would be I would refer that to that as an opt-in, right? So I
Right.
mentioned some content ideas would be to create gift guides. So a
Mhm.
series of products that are made for a certain type of person or a certain person in your life.
Mhm.
That could be your opt-in, right? So maybe it's a PDF of 3 to 5 pages or 1 to 3 pages that is on your website, but in order to get it, they have to
Right.
leave their email address and sign up for
Yes.
your newsletter. Yeah.
Yes, and that gives people a great place to start too, right? Sort of creating that base, especially with people not being in stores and all that kind of stuff
Yeah.
too. So that's great. I think that's all the questions we have today. I think that's all the questions I wrote down. I just want to thank you so much, Charmaine, for making time for us again today on creating a holiday marketing campaign. Again, if anybody has any questions, I will be sending out Charmaine's contact information along with a recording of today's webinar. And also just a reminder that our last webinar of 2020 is on December 1st. It will be with the Supply Chain Canada Council, and it's inventory optimization. So, and also just to let everyone know that Charmaine will be with us in January during our showcase. She's going to be one of our feature educators, and she's going to be doing a special just on Instagram. We were discussing before, so we'll let you guys know what the details are on our little Instagram special that we're going to be doing during the showcase. Thank you so much, Charmaine. Have a great holiday season, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good.